Oedipus the King, a classic Greek tale of fate and tragedy. In ancient Greece, the kingdom of Thebes is suffering badly. Plants and animals are dying. People are sick and babies are being born dead. The people of Thebes ask their king, Oedipus, to help stop these bad times. It is said that many years ago, the wise Oedipus solved a riddle posed by the Sphinx. The Sphinx was a monster who had attacked Thebes until her riddle was solved. As a reward, Oedipus became the king of Thebes and married the queen, Jocasta. The former king, Laius, had recently been murdered while traveling. To end Thebes' current suffering, Oedipus has already sent Jocasta's brother, Creon, to seek help from the oracle of the gods. Creon returns and says that Thebes' suffering will only end when Laius' murderer is caught and punished. Oedipus promises to do this and asks a blind prophet, Tiresias, for help. Tiresias warns Oedipus not to ask him questions because he won't like the answers. However, after Oedipus threatens Tiresias, the prophet says that Laius' murderer is Oedipus himself. When Oedipus hears this, he thinks Creon is trying to use Tiresias to take over the kingdom.
Welcome everyone to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And Elsie, do you like reading about myths or legends?
Yeah, I find them fascinating. There is something cool about the way they explore human nature and the mysteries of life.
Good. Well, today we have a story or myth, and it's such a compelling story. The way fate and tragedy play out in the characters' lives is intense. And today we're going to jump into today's article titled Oedipus the King, a classic Greek tale of fate and tragedy. Are you ready to experience this wonderful story?
Yes, I'm so ready for it.
All right. Well, beginning in our story, it says, in ancient Greece, the kingdom of Thebes is suffering badly. There we see the noun kingdom. Kingdom is a large area of land that is ruled by a king or queen. An example sentence, we could say, the king ruled his kingdom with fairness and kindness. We also see the word suffer. If someone suffers an unpleasant or difficult experience or is in a difficult situation, it happens to them or they experienced it. So an example using this word, we could say, after the car accident, he had to suffer through months of painful physical therapy.
好，整理一下，首先看到的 kingdom 前面有 king 就是国王这个字，对不对？那字尾加上 dom kingdom 指的就是王国。那另外这个动词 suffer 指的是受苦，所以我们课文一开始说到，在古希腊底比斯王国呢正遭受严重的苦难。那这边用到的现在进行式 is suffering 强调进行的当下。那国家名称 Greece 是希腊，如果你把字尾改成Greek 它是个形容词，代表希腊的，那也可以拿来当名词使用哦。当名词的时候解释为希腊语或是希腊人。So Adam, why was it so bad in the kingdom?
Well, our article says, plants and animals are dying. People are sick and babies are being born dead.
哇，植物和动物当时都相继死亡，人们生病，然后呢，婴儿出生就会直接夭折。Wow, this sounds awful.
I know, and which is why our article says the people of Thebes asked their king Oedipus to help stop these bad times.
底比斯的人民呢，就请求他们的国王，也就是 Oedipus 来帮助终结这些坏运气。
Our article continues by saying, it is said that many years ago, the wise Oedipus solved a riddle posed by the Sphinx.
据说呢，许多年前聪明的 Oedipus 他解开了 Sphinx 提出的一个谜语。那谜语用到的这个名词呢，就是 riddle 这个字哈，也可以当做一个谜来解释。那动词 pose 它表示提出问题，通常会搭配比如说 pose a riddle 提出一道谜语，或是 pose a question 提出一个问题。那在这边呢，我们还看到今天的文法重点 Let's take a look。今天的 Language in Focus 我们要讲到的是 it 这个主词出来之后，再加上 be 动词以及 said 或是 believed 或是 reported 再加上 that。 那这个句型呢是用来表示据说啦、据信或是据报道的意思，用于表达客观的事实或众人的意见还有说法。那搭配使用的动词呢，具有陈述或是报告的性质。句中呢，我们刚刚说到的 it 好，它是一个虚主词哦， that 所引导的名词子句才是真正主词的位置。所以呢 for example 给同学们一个例子， It is said that this house has been haunted. 据说这间房子闹鬼。好，我们的虚主词就是 it， 然后呢 that 后面带出的 this house has been haunted 就是真正的主词。那还有一个例句呢，说的是 It is reported that the killer is hiding somewhere in the mountain. 那这边的解释就会是据报道杀手藏匿于山中。那我们也可以将这个句型改写为不定词的结构哦。句型会变成什么样子呢？主词会出来，然后加上 be 动词，再加上 believed, said, reported 加上 to 以及一个原形动词。所以呢，我们刚刚的那个句子，那个例句也可以说成 The killer is reported to be hiding in the mountain。 那如果原先 that 子句的时态是过去式或是完成式的时候啊，你改写的不定词必须要写为 to have 加上 BPP， 也就是过去分词。所以呢，刚刚这个鬼屋的闹鬼的这个句子，我们可以说成 This house is said to have been haunted。Okay, so the Sphinx posed a riddle, but who was the Sphinx?
Ooh, all right. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, our article says the Sphinx was a monster who had attacked Thebes until her riddle was solved. There we see the noun monster. Monster is a large, scary creature that is often found in stories or legends.An example we could say is, in the movie, the heroes had to come up with a plan to defeat the giant monster attacking their city.
Monster 就是怪物或是怪兽啦。那课文说呢 ，Who had attacked Thebes until her riddle was solved 这个部分呢，它是一个形容词子句，也就是关系词子句啊，它是修饰形容先行词 a monster 这个名词。那我们说到呢 Sphinx 它是在一个谜语解开之前一直攻击这个底比斯的怪物。
So that is why all the villagers and townspeople are coming to Oedipus, because they're like, wow, he's very smart. He helped solve the riddle from the monster. He must be able to help our city from not suffering any longer. And the reward that we see that he got from solving the riddle is we're about to find out now. It says, as a reward, Oedipus became the king of Thebes and married the queen, Jocasta.
Reward 这个名词呢，指的是回报或是奖励。所以啊，作为奖励 Oedipus 他就成为了底比斯的国王，然后呢，跟王后 Jocasta 结婚了。Oh, it's a great reward, right?
Right, you get to marry the queen for solving a riddle.But wait, remember, this is a story of fate and possibly tragedy, so we have to figure out maybe there's something further down the road that is going to make us surprised. Our article continues by saying, the former king, Laius, had recently been murdered while traveling. There we see the word murder, which is to kill someone on purpose.An example sentence using this word would be, the police thought the man had been murdered, but his death turned out to be an accident.
Murder 这个动词呢是谋杀，那课文中看到的 had been murdered 它是一个过去完成被动式，那代表的是呢前任的国王，也就是 Laius， 好，他是呢在旅行的途中被谋杀的。
And I wonder why and how the former king was murdered.
Oh, we are about to find out.
It's getting suspenseful. All right, continuing with our article, it says, to end Thebes' current suffering, Oedipus has already sent Jocasta's brother Creon to seek help from the oracle of the gods. There we see suffering, which is a noun. It's the experience of being in pain or in a difficult situation.OK，
所以呢，课文这边解释啊，为了要解除底比斯王国当前的苦难 ，Oedipus 他已经派这个 Jocasta， 也就是他老婆的弟弟，去向神谕求助。那这边看到的 suffering， 它是一个名词哦，代表的是折磨跟痛苦。那还有这个字 oracle， 指的是古希腊的传递神谕者，或是你要说神使，好，也是可以的。
All right, moving back as this story gets more exciting, it says, Creon returns and says that Thebes' suffering will only end when Laius' murderer is caught and punished.Murderer
好，也就是 murder 字尾加个 er， murderer 指的是谋杀犯或是杀人犯，那当然是个名词。所以呢，克瑞翁他返回之后就告诉他说，只有抓住并且惩罚 Laius 的凶手，底比斯的苦难才能够结束。
All right, jumping back, it says, Oedipus promises to do this and asks a blind prophet, Tiresias, for help.Oedipus 他就承诺说一定会做到这一件事情，做到这一点，那他就去请求盲人先知来帮助。Prophet 这个名词呢，指的是神使或是先知啦。 Continuing on, it says, Tiresias warns Oedipus not to ask him questions because he won't like the answers.Ooh, okay, so there we see warn as a verb. It says to tell someone about something dangerous or bad that might happen so they can avoid it. An example sentence using warn, we would say, the teacher warned the students not to run in the hallway.Warn
这个动词呢，指的是警告。Warn somebody not to do something， 那就是警告某人不要去做某件事情。to 后面加原形动词就可以了。那另外，如果你在 warn 的字尾加上 ing， 可以把它变成 warning， 可以是个名词，也可以是个形容词。如果是说要给某人发出一个警告的话，你可以用它名词的形式 give somebody a warning。那如果呢，你要说要发出的是警告的征兆，警告的用来形容征兆，你也可以用 warning 来形容。好 ，a warning sign 指的就是这个意思。所以呢，课文说到盲人先知提瑞西亚斯呢，他就警告 Oedipus 不要问他问题，因为他不会喜欢答案的。
Oh, okay, so it's getting more interesting. Tiresias warns Oedipus, don't ask these questions. They will hurt you in the end. Getting back to our article, it says, however,After Oedipus threatens Tiresias, the prophet says that Laius' murderer is Oedipus himself. Ooh, there we see the verb threaten. Threaten, to threaten someone is to tell them you will harm them if they don't do what you want. An example sentence would be the bully threatened to take the boy's lunch money if he didn't do his homework.Threaten 这个动词呢，就是去威胁、恐吓某个人。好，你可以直接加上一个受词，就代表去威胁、恐吓这个人。那你也可以说 threaten to do something， 那就是威胁说你要去做某件事情。那名词的形式呢是 threat。Pose a threat to somebody， 那就是对某人构成威胁。用到的动词就是我们刚刚看到的 pose，P-O-S-E。先知就说呢，杀死 Laius 的凶手其实就是 Oedipus 他自己。Wow, he himself was the murderer, and he didn't know it? I know.
If Oedipus really is the murderer, then this whole time he's been trying to save the city from himself.
Exactly.
Oh my God, let's
I
find
know.
out what happens next.
All right. Well, it says when Oedipus hears this, he thinks Creon is trying to use Tiresias to take over the kingdom. There we see the phrase take over something. So to take over something means to start doing something that someone else was doing, especially when they leave or stop.
Take over something 那就是接管或是接手好某件事情，或可能是某个公司也可以。那 Oedipus 他听到这个消息之后啊，他就认为呢，这个 Creon 是不是想利用这个先知利用提瑞西亚斯来夺取王国呢？ So what is he going to do? Somebody's lying here, right?
I know.
But who?
Exactly. It's a mystery, and I guess we'll have to keep reading to see what Oedipus does next and if he can uncover who's really behind maybe all this.
Wow, this is very exciting. I love mysteries. 那同学们喜欢今天的主题吗？不要忘了按赞、订阅、分享我们的 YouTube channel 还有 Facebook 哦。
All right, everyone, that brings us to our For You Chat question. It says, talk about a time when you found out some information you didn't like. What happened and what did you do?
Some information I didn't like was when I found out that my best friend had been talking behind my back.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, I heard from another friend that she had been saying some negative things about me, and I was really hurt.
Oh, okay. What happened next?
I didn't really want to believe it at first,
Right.
but when I confronted her, she admitted it.
Oh, all right. How'd you feel?
Of course, I was upset, but we talked it through, and I told her how much it hurt me.
Okay.
So we eventually worked things out, and it took some time to rebuild the trust.
Okay, so you guys, that's good. You became friends again after you found some information you didn't like.
Yeah, you lose some, you gain some, right?
Exactly. For me, I would say some information I didn't like was when I found out that I didn't get the job I really wanted. I had gone through several interviews, felt confident, but then I got a rejection email. I mean, I was really disappointed because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to get that job.
And what did you do about it?
Well, I decided to use it as a motivation to improve my skills and get better, and then I landed another job that I really wanted.
Oh, that's really good.
So it worked out in the end. Well, everyone, that's all the time we have for today. We will jump back on this story next time and keep your interest alive. My name is Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Kingdom. This country was once a kingdom, but now it is led by a president. Suffer. During the Long War, this country suffered great damage and many schools were closed. Monster. When Charlie was young, he worried that monsters would eat him in his sleep. Now, though, he knows they're not real. Murder. The police discovered that the dead woman was murdered by a man who attacked her last night. Warn. Doctors warn that sitting for too long is linked to weight gain as well as several other health problems. Threaten. The man was taken away by the police officer for threatening his neighbor with a large stick.
智慧小补帖
Riddle. Reward. Oracle. Profit.